Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the Revolution Approved podcast.
Number 5.
You are joining us here in the Holistic Revolution, Wyandotte, Michigan. I am Jen.
And I'm Ken. And I think we should say before, I'm going to interrupt you very briefly for a second. And we should say that we have not had a podcast in 3 weeks?
Oh, it's been a while.
Yeah, the masses are thirsty for a new podcast. We've had some wild weather here in Michigan, and that has made taping very difficult.
More importantly than the weather, the kids have not been in school, so it makes recording or getting away to record impossible.
Difficult,
Impossible,
yes.
so.
But enough of the excuses. That was then and this is now. And we're going to talk about the weather today, are we not?
Sure. Let's talk.
Let's talk. We deal exclusively, like as you've heard in the previous 4 podcasts, we have the overwhelming majority of our clientele is female. And the overwhelming majority of our clientele are training for body transformation. So to
Weight loss?
Weight loss, yeah. Lose body fat, lose weight. I don't like the weight word, but lose body fat, okay? And this time of year can be very challenging,
Sure.
right?
Agreed. And why is it challenging?
Well, it's challenging because that was an awesome segue. Thank you. It's challenging because you are putting in a lot of work, and the pounds or the body fat is kind of moving at like a snail's pace.
Sure.
Okay. So people are perceiving. Remember that perception of a high work level, and the results are kind of on a low level, like a pound or 2 or 1/4% body
The
fat.
example to this, if you're not following along, is I'm not losing any weight. I don't understand. I eat perfect. I drink all the water. I'm in the gym all day.
Yes, that was a good example.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
The scale isn't moving. What's going on? You know nothing.
Yes. So, but we are here to tell you that we do know something, because we have been down this road before, okay, many times. And like we said at the beginning of the podcast, right now it is February. We are in Michigan. It's cold.
Polar vortex.
Yes. So, if this conversation was occurring in San Diego, California, occurring, thank you for calling me out on that, occurring in San Diego, where it's 65 degrees or 70 or sunny or whatever all year round, well then we'd be having a different conversation.
Sure.
Okay, so let's put a giant asterisk, a pin in it if you will, next to because everybody eats, right? Everyone's getting ready for Mr. or Mrs. Olympia. Okay?
Oh, everybody eats
Everybody
perfect.
eats perfect. Everybody trains absolutely as hard as they possibly can every single time they train. Everybody gets absolutely the correct amount of sleep every time they sleep. Everybody gets a nap a day. Everybody drinks the exact perfect amount of water no matter what.
Stress level is like 0.
0, yes. Everyone is perfect. Okay? So let's say that you were doing the exact perfect thing that you were doing and you still were not moving in the right direction. Why?
Well, we can say weather, because that's what we're talking about.
Yes, the weather. Thank you very much.
What is the environment doing around you?
Yes, now
what kind of climate do you live in?
we live on planet Earth. Some people
Some of us.
mentally are on Nebulon, but physically speaking, body is on Earth, okay? And since we are on Earth, we are dictated by the environment that we find ourselves on Earth. So if it's, what is it outside today? 8 degrees outside, 10 degrees, the snow is falling.
It's snowing pretty good
We've
outside
had
today.
snow for the past month, crazy, kids off school, negative 35 the other day?
We went negative 30 to about 45 to negative 20 to what?
50.
Oh yeah, it was 50 the other day.
And then it went back down to really low. So the key point in all that is that your body responds to the environment, and its basic mode is self-preservation.
Yes.
Homeostasis. So while you're looking in the mirror and going, oh man, I want to look a certain way, your body is thinking, we want to live.
We want to stay warm.
We want to stay warm. So
Hibernation, right?
yes, so if you are from a colder climate and it's cold for a long period of time, your body is going to kind of not fight you would be the right word, but be sparse in its partitioning of body fat.
Sure.
Okay? So, with that being said, what can you do to make sure that you're staying on the right track with that? Because it can be very damaging. I mean, half of our time is spent counseling people off the ledge of quitting fitness programs, and my email box and text messages get blown up with, I'm doing all this work and I'm not going anywhere. So it can be very damaging mentally. So what can we do?
Well, I think first and foremost, you need to remember, to stay consistent. You need to keep on keeping on. You need to keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
You need to be mindful about what the weather's doing outside, and you can't control that, so stop trying to. Doesn't matter how many days in a row you want to wear a cutoff tank top, you're gonna be cold.
This is true. So
you can't force it.
So if you want to look good in June and July, the beach season, okay? If you want to look good in June and July, or you have a wedding coming up in the summer, or so on and so forth, you had best be training in January, in December and January. So So
bikini bodies are made in the winter.
yes.
For
So
sure.
this is the time when you continue to train, and all the while create, like we've talked about in previous podcasts, good habits. So yes, enough water. Yes, the right amount of food. More food in the winter because you're trying to stay warm. Okay, you don't.
But the right kind.
But the right kinds, yes, absolutely. So calorically, you don't drop the bottom out. You keep calories high. You keep movement high. You get rest because it's colder out and it's longer. It's darker longer in the winter. So the body is erring towards the side of rest. So you have to make sure that your stress and recovery is on point. And then you set that up, and then you continue to go, and you continue to go, and you continue to go.
Yep.
And then you get to the warmer months, April, and then all of a sudden your body goes, it's warm. And now you lose weight.
Sure.
Now the weight starts to come off like you thought it would all around. The body fat starts to come off like you thought it would all around.
Yeah.
It's a marathon, not a sprint. Right? You like that? You like that analogy? That was good. So I'll give you an easy case in point for myself. Back in the day when I used to compete in bodybuilding, I would train and train and train. And this one particular year, I didn't lose any weight from January to about April. That's how I came up with that. And I was training my balls off. I mean, this is no like I'm going to a group spinning class and I hang in the back. No, I was training twice a day. I was doing a ton of cardio. I was training. It was hard. And then an old timer came to me, and because I was very young at the time, even though I still look very young, he said, hey, man, because I was getting frustrated. And he said, hey, look, continue to do what you're doing. It's not warm yet. Continue to do what you're doing. That's why there are no physique competitions in the winter, especially in states in the Midwest where it's cold, because you can't get lean, right? So he said, continue to do your thing. Continue to do your thing. Blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, April, May, here we go. We're good to go.
Yeah.
Right?
I think a lot of people, it's a mental game, right? You're dieting, you're drinking your water, you're going to the gym, you expect to see certain things fall into place, and when you don't, it's mental. It messes you up. So you start to think, okay, well nothing's working. Nothing. Right? So I would like to take a second and say, if you're starting to feel that way, one, you got to remember what the weather's doing outside and the chemistry of your body. Again, we've talked about this before. Your body does what it needs to do environmentally. It's a machine. It's an organism.
And when it wants to. You don't get to choose.
Very true. Yes. So keep all these things in mind, first and foremost. Secondly, stay the course. Because regardless of what the scale is doing, you're still helping your body.
You're still reaping health benefits.
You're still doing the right things, right? You still need to be fueling your body with the right type of stuff. You need to be hydrated with good, clean water, and you do still need to be moving. So you're not doing anything wrong. Let's keep going in the same direction. And then when the weather does break and your body goes, oh, finally, right? I don't need to hold all this
Sure.
weight for winter, right? We don't need to hibernate in a cave somewhere and keep warm because we don't know if you can make a fire or not.
It's you're building the conditioning, you're building your heart, you're building your muscles, and then as the days start to shift into longer days, with the sun out longer, you can then do more work. But then when you're doing more work, you're able to do more work because you're conditioned for the work, because you put in this intermediary period of
Sure.
building up, right? So but again, like we've talked about, what does the fitness industry promote to you? Quick fix nonsense, 6-week challenge, 90 days, blah, 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 all garbage.
Yeah.
What does the nutrition industry come at you with? Cut calories, less food, gimmicky garbage, cabbage diet, lemon fast, this horse shit. So do not cut calories. Continue to eat, to your point, which you are a stickler on this, very, very high quality foods, okay? Keep your metabolism up. Continue to work on your conditioning. Continue to train at the appropriate level, and then you ride the wave. You kind of let time do its thing, which is hard for people because we've been conditioned, right, to want now. Like, people are probably like, he needs to quit talking now. Right?
Yeah. You need to. Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
No. You need to just relax, right? Let it go. Realize you're doing what you need to do. Everything takes time. You didn't gain 40 pounds overnight. You're not going to lose it overnight.
This
okay?
is true.
And as, the days start getting longer, the days start getting a little bit warmer, your body's going to start releasing what it's been holding on to because your body knows better than you.
Yes.
Let it do its thing. You're not doing anything wrong. Just keep going, keep doing it. Everything will fall into place.
But that's the mind game manipulation.
It is.
Of the industry to always make you feel like you're not doing, again.
You're not doing enough.
Exactly. So you look at the magazine cover, well, you're not as skinny as that girl. Okay.
That girl's not as skinny as that girl. I hate to break it to you.
The guys look at the magazine cover, okay, well, they're not on anabolic steroids like the guy on the cover. Okay, so they're not that big. Oh, then you're over here, you're not as fast. Oh, well, then if you only had the $250 shoes from Nike, you'd be able to do. But
Does
Nike.
that work?
No, because Nike's not telling you about the drugs the guy's on, the training protocol the guy's on, the blah, 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 blah. We've talked about all that before.
Yeah.
So all it is, again, you clearing your mind and understanding that you have undertaken a process, which we should be celebrating today, or people out there should be celebrating, because it's the second week of February, correct?
Correct.
Which means that's 6 weeks from the beginning of the year, correct?
Yeah.
Which means that all your New Year's resolution people, this week is the week that they leave. We talked about that, I think, in our very first podcast, right? Did we not? Or the second one? One of them.
We have touched on that.
We've touched on it. So they're going to leave. They did not heed the warnings. They shotgunned it. They went from 2 miles an hour on the treadmill to 10 in 1 week, blowing their kneecap off, so on and so forth. They're out the door because of that. So stay the course.
Yes.
Understand it's a process, and then, like we've said in previous podcasts again, work it little bits at a time. More water. You got a giant water right there on camera. Yeah, the big water.
In glass.
Glass, by the way, very good. Practicing what you preach, very good. So drink the water. Incrementally increase it. Incrementally increase the food. Incrementally increase the work.
Listen to your body.
Little bits at a time, exactly. If you
hung-
need to take a day
hungry,
off, take a
eat.
day off.
If you're tired, sleep.
Sleep.
If you're thirsty, drink some water.
Yeah.
Put the coffee down.
If you're stressed out, meditate.
Scream at your husband.
Yeah, yell at me.
Helps.
Send me a text message. Crazy one.
Journal.
Yes.
Start journaling. Write it down. You're mad. You're pissed off. You hate the gym. It's not working. You hate your food choices. Write it down.
Yes,
And then rip it out and crumple it up and throw it away and move on.
And then move on to the next day.
Get it out.
Reflect on it, and then say, what do I need to do to have that a different outcome? And then you move forward.
Yes.
And that's the key. Because I got news for you. Who gives a crap what some, what's that thing? Groundhog said, it's going to be cold in Michigan for at least till what? Every year we think, oh, well, March 1st, it's like going to be spring. No, it's never that way.
No.
It won't be warm till May. So you got another,
Yeah.
what again, 6 weeks? Got another 6 weeks more, regardless of what a rodent told you that stared at the sun or whatever that stupid crap they do.
He sees a shadow.
It sees his shadow.
Or
Yeah, but he
doesn't
sees
see
his
a
shadow
shadow.
every year, though.
It's 6 weeks.
Because
either
it's
way.
like how they point them at the, isn't it? Like, depending upon how you point them at the sun. Whatever. Anyway, never mind that. You totally got me off my square there. Continue to do your thing, and it'll all work out. And if it doesn't work out, then you have to take a look back at the variables that you talked about in the beginning. And this is why, as a trainer, we question a lot. We pepper people with questions. You know, how much water you drinking, how much sleep
Yep.
you get, so on and so forth. Because we're constantly looking for what can we get a little bit better? What can we get 1% better? We're not trying to get 100. See, that's the thing is, trying to lose 30 pounds in 1 month is trying to get 100% better at something right off the bat. Well, you can't get 100% on a one person all the time. They're going to break down,
Yeah.
right? So it's better to get 1% every day better for 100 days in a row than 100% one day. And we all know it, and you know people, and I know people, and you know, people out there know people who, yeah, they got one good day a week. It's usually Monday because they slept in on Sunday, so they got a little bit of energy. And then the rest of the days are progressively worse and worse and worse till
Yeah.
they get to the weekend, and then that's all she wrote. So look at your journal, look at what you've written down. Am I drinking enough water? Okay, yes or no? No, I'm not. Okay, why? Well, you know what? I got caught, I don't have my bottle on me. Or you know what, I got put out in a situation, something. Cognizant of it, and then now make a mental note to change that behavior.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
start back on the right direction the next day. You always have another day. Just like with training, you can always train harder.
Yeah. Just be mindful.
Just be mindful. You got anything else in closing? That was a good one. That's good. I thought we did a good job. I don't know what everyone else thinks out there, but I think we did a good job.
I think that's it. You know, like, just don't be so hard on yourselves, and don't let society and marketing and the gym down the road, who's probably closed because it's snowing, but they're way more hardcore than anybody else, but they're closed. I don't know. Like, don't let all these people freak you out or make you think that you're less, because you're not.
Yeah. You are.
Look, nobody's perfect.
You're only in a competition with yourself.
We're all individuals, so we all have individual needs.
Yeah.
That's why you have to, instead of looking at somebody else to give you answers, you need to look inside. That's where the journaling comes in. That's where the meditation comes in. That's where, you know, just being mindful of yourself and what you need comes in. And as long as you do that, you'll be exactly where you need to be.
Good to go. Good advice. Good advice. Dear Jen over here. All right. We shall see you guys next week. I'm Ken.
I'm Jen.
We're from the Holistic Revolution. Have a great rest of your week, guys.
Like, share, subscribe.